Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. And oh my gosh, it's been such a long time since I filmed. I think it's been like 2 months or 2.5 months, and I'm so sorry about that. I really did not foresee the events that came in the past 2 months, and it's just been crazy. In February, like my whole household, it's just 3 of us, but we all got the flu at the same time, and it was horrible. It lasted like about a week and a half, and I never get sick, so that was like weird. And then my husband and my daughter got into a really bad car accident, and they're fine, thank God. But you know, the car was totaled, and then my husband was changing careers and a new job, so the crash happened at like a very bad time. I mean, car accidents are never in good time, but for his new job, he has to commute now about an hour and a half, and then we were left without a car and the insurance, and then finally got all of that wrapped up, bought a car, and just the change and him being far, it's just been very chaotic. And I am the type that when I'm very stressed, I just like shut myself down, and I eat and I sleep, and I don't want to put makeup on, I don't want to put clothes on, so it's been rough. And I didn't want to come on here and like fake something that I really wasn't feeling, and I didn't want to add more stress with having to film. You know, this for me is not a job. It will never be a job. It's a hobby. But you know, life comes before this, and just a bunch of stuff happened. But I'm here, and every time I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta film, because this is almost like a happy place. You know, if anybody else does videos or anything to do with reading books and something that you really love, you know that this is like a happy place for you. But it was just such a hard time, and I mean, it really wasn't like, oh my gosh. But for me, as I live a pretty calm life and a pretty like stress-free life, as stress-free as it can be, and that just, it was just too much happening at one time. And then you will also notice that my background is different, and that's another thing that I didn't like, was my background in my videos. I just did not like them. So I did order some bookshelves for this room here, which is the guest bedroom, but all of my furniture in here is white because I do have my vanity and my makeup in here. And then, so I didn't want to, I do have bookshelves, but they're dark. They're like dark wood. So I did want everything to match in here. So I am getting my bookshelves because IKEA dropped their delivery prices, which is amazing because I live about an hour and a half from an IKEA. So deliveries were like almost $100. So that was just crazy. But anyways, I'm getting my bookshelves for right now. This is just a little couch bed thing that I have here in this room. So I figured, whatever, it'll just be my background for now. I'm supposed to have some pillows back there, all that have to do with reading, but I haven't stuffed them yet. So whatever. But so that's the little update, and so let's get into what I read in the month of March. I mean, it feels like forever ago. I'm so glad that March is over with. I know that it's like almost the end of April, but I wanted to get this video out. I wanted to just start off with something like this, something easy, and let's get into it. So in March, oh, also excuse the lighting, I don't know yet. I have like a huge window here, and sometimes when you have like a huge window here, you'll get shadows over here. So I do have what is that called, like fake lighting over here. So I don't know, the viewfinder, it seems fine, but I'm gonna be playing around with it. Either way, this might be my permanent background, or the bookshelves will be, I don't know yet, but just bear with me as I fix this room up for my books. So anyways, like I was saying, my March wrap up, I had a pretty good March reading month, I guess, because that's all I did, and that's all I wanted to do was eat, sleep, and read. And that's what I did. I mean, it's not fantastic. It's not, again, it's not like the 19 books that other people read on here, but this is fantastic for me. I read 3 graphic novels and 4 books. And let me show you what I read. So the 3 graphic novels that I read, I don't like counting them as books because they're so short, and I read these like in 20 minutes. So I did read 3 volumes of The Walking Dead, which are these right here. And I read volumes 11, 12, and 13. I stopped reading them for a while for whatever reason. I just got wrapped up in other books, but I love The Walking Dead. I think I've mentioned it here. I have not, believe it or not, I have not watched the show in like a whole season, so I don't know what's going on this season, and I've just been like feeling weird. But I will get back into them. But so far, I have read volume 11, which is Fear the Hunters, which is this one right here. I read volume 12, Life Among Them, which is this one here. And volume 13, which is Too Far Gone. And this is when they are already in Alexandria. And I mean, what else can I say about The Walking Dead? They are all 5 stars for me. I love them. I love them. I really do. If you ever want to see what my wrap-ups are also, I mean, even though I will be making videos, but if there's a month that I don't make a video or you just don't see of me, I'm pretty active on Instagram, and so I do have all these books as my wrap-up on Instagram. But yeah, that was the 3 comic books I read for the month of March. So the first book that I read, or not really the first book, but one of the books that I read for the month of March was one of my most highly anticipated books, and that is The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor. And I was so excited for this book. I loved it. I gave it 4 stars. I will say trigger warnings for rape and bullying. There was one scene on here that was pretty hard to swallow. I wish that part wouldn't have been in here, and that was a part of the rape. But other than that, I thought this was a fantastic book. It goes in between 2 timelines, one when he was a kid, where the narrator was a kid, and the other one was as he's older. And some series of events have happened when he was younger with a group of his friends, and then they just start happening again as an older man. So they just take you through all of that, through the mystery, and it was just nostalgic in the sense of, you know, you're going back to almost like the 80s, and you know, a group of boys and the things that they get into. I really enjoyed it, and for it being a debut novel, it's pretty fantastic. She did a great job writing The Chalk Man. So 4 stars. Another book that I read for the month of March is The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman, and I gave this book 5 stars. Did I give it 5 stars? Yeah, I gave this book 5 stars. Fantastic book. This is one of those books that just kept you thinking. The ending, it was almost like I did not like the ending when I first read it, but the more you thought about it, it's just like a sad, I want to say sad really, but for me, I was just like, like, that's it. Like, it was good though. It was really good. And if you've read this book, or if you read this book, you'll know what I mean by really, like, it just gives you all the feels. It's a bit scary. For me, it was not scary. Even the scary parts that I see a lot of people comparing to as horror, you know, because Neil Gaiman is mostly horror. To me, it just was not scary. But it was weird at times with some of the characters in here. It was just weird, you know, it was just something like that. Wow, you know, the mind of Neil Gaiman is just spectacular. But I loved the book, and I gave it 5 stars. Another book that I read for March, and this one I think consumed most of my March because it's such a hunker of a book, and that is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, which is year 5. And I love Harry Potter. Who doesn't? I still have to read the last 2 books. I think this Harry Potter is my least favorite so far. I have not, like I said, I have not read the last 2 books, but it was long. It was frustrating. It was sad. It had me mad for Harry. It was just so many things. One of my favorite characters, and I think a favorite character of the majority of the people I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to spoil, and sometimes I don't know if I'm gonna spoil something. I'm so careful and fearful that I'm gonna spoil something for somebody, but I think this was my least favorite, and still it being my least favorite, I gave it 5 stars because it's Harry Potter. I mean, it's magical, fantastic, it's Harry Potter, you know. I love, one of the aspects that I love here is the friendship that is formed and the group that is formed towards the end. And I know they've always been kind of there, but I just feel like there was a bigger group of friends that was formed. What else can you say? Harry Potter, 5 stars. Really long book, but it was good. And the last book that I read, I have been wanting to read forever, and I am so glad I did. I have so many books that I have bought, like, you've seen all the hauls. My book outlet hauls are massive. All those books, and I still went and bought You by Carolyn Kepnes. Is that how you say it, Kepnes? But I've been wanting to read this book forever, and I finally went and bought it, and I was just like, I don't care what's on my TBR, I'm just, this is gonna happen now. And like I knew I would, I loved it. This book is disturbing, it's creepy, it's stalkish, it's so wrong in so many ways, but you almost forget about all the wrong that you are reading, and you're almost rooting for this sick guy, that you almost start second guessing yourself, like, am I really a good person because I'm rooting for this guy? It was almost like at the end I was like, no, he is not a good guy, like I cannot, you know. But the thing is that it's, I think it's called, I'm not really good with the technical terms and all of that, of first person, third, second, first, fourth, 10th person, however it's written, but I think it's first person. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't care, like, looking like a fool and not knowing what I'm talking about. But this is told in first person, and it's just about this guy and his obsession with this one girl, and everything is said like you know, it's like, I don't even want to read. But you're basically in the guy's mind, and you get to know how the guy thinks and what he feels and why he's doing the things that he's doing, and he doesn't see anything wrong with what he's doing, and you almost start like falling for that. And it's just, it's crazy. And I know that there is a series coming out on I think it's Lifetime. In one of those channels, they are doing the series. It's coming out September 9th. I know that because my birthday is September 8th, and I'm just so excited. I cannot wait. I hope it does the book justice. I haven't read the second book, which is Hidden Bodies, but I'm looking forward to reading this. And this lady, Carolyn Kepnes, I mean, wow. Like, I would like to sit down with her and talk to her for a little bit, because that was just, it's such a great book, and I'm sure that I'm going to reread it at some point in my life, because it was just fantastic. And just to have that kind of mind and write a story like that is just insane to me, insane. But yeah, that was all that I read for the month of March. I am going to be doing a March haul also, and hopefully, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to do an April wrap up like in a couple of days. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm so sorry for not being around and putting content up. I know I had like 2 or 3 more subscribers while I was gone, and I was like, I would get the emails and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get back before I just never come back. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys had a fantastic month of March, better than I did. Please let me know any books that you have read down below. Let's talk, let's chat. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see me more, hopefully see me more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.